We have a question here from Stifler. Ask the ladies to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, we can do that. Go ahead. What about you?
I think like a 7.5, 8.
Okay.
I think I'm a 10
Wait,
in the
can we
Midwest.
just have you scoot into the table so you're not like leaned back?
Depends on the city. In LA,
Yeah.
the number goes down.
Okay, in let's say you're in like a international hub somewhere. I don't know.
international hub?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Like LA, for example. I would, I don't, on a good day, a solid, like a strong 8.
Okay.
I would call myself a 10, but that's because no matter who it is, like no one's ever gonna think I'm the prettiest girl, or like there's always gonna be somebody that thinks I'm ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna call myself a 10 and be happy with that.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
Not everybody
sure.
likes me, not everybody has to.
Okay, we'll let everybody answer. Go ahead.
I'd give myself an 8.
If I was down south or in the Midwest, I'd be Beyonce. But here in LA, you feel me? It really just depends on what part of, well, we're in Santa Barbara, but I'm from LA, I'm from the hood. So in the hood, I'm definitely a 10. You feel me? But when you go to Beverly Hills, stuff like that, you fat, you got a belly, little fupa, then yeah, your number go way down. So Beverly Hills versus the hood, let me know.
Okay.
More to love, baby. More to love. I would rate myself like a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
I'd probably give myself a 6.5 or a 7. I think it depends on the city and state too. Like in Florida, maybe like a 7, but here in California, maybe like a 6.5.
Yeah, I think I'm 6.5. I think that's about accurate. You guys are kind of changing my mind.
Little
I think
closer
he has
to
a
Mike.
low ball, but yeah.
I was gonna say like a
Some real
7 or
beautiful
8, but I'm gonna go with the 8.
I say 5. I think I'm an average chick. No, I
Not
don't.
pretty, no.
What? That doesn't mean. I don't think there's anything wrong with
And we're
average.
talking about looks alone.
Looks
Yeah,
alone.
just
No,
looks.
no,
Just
I mean,
looks.
I mean, I think like there's nothing wrong with being average. I think if you take 10 girls at the table, like half of us probably are average.
Yeah. I think no one wants to be like honest with
thing is,
themselves.
and just
to
because
be
you're not
people-
saying you're a 10 doesn't mean you're not confident either.
Yeah,
There's a difference
fact,
between
fact.
realistic and just
Yeah.
not confident.
I agree completely.
Yeah, I don't know why like we live in this society where average is seen as a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like most
Yeah, it's
people
just-
are average.
most of
Not
us are.
everyone can be like.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you're an 8, that means you're in the top 20% of beauty. You should have had top 20% of beauty results. So that means I don't know, modeling contracts. I don't know, eligible top 20%, 10% men in your DMs or I
Have
don't
you
know,
seen
but
them?
not just like taking you seriously. But go ahead.
There's also been beauty studies they've done where they've like had 8 faces lined up of different like kinds of beauty, supermodel beauty with the chiseled features, and like what people
Yes,
actually
it's-
find most
yep.
beautiful is most familiar. So it's like more the girl next door look that was actually rated the most beautiful.
Or even like somebody, like I've noticed like the more that I've been around couples, people tend to date people that kind of resemble them or someone that they
noticed
love,
that.
like their mom or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Again, it's probably the familiarity thing that she just pointed out. But I've continued to notice more and more that since being in LA that a lot of people tend to date people that kind of look a little bit like them. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that necessarily like it's the beauty standard. It's just
Well,
they see beauty in each.
Beauty
You can see
is.
beauty
I'd
in
like to say that
anything,
beauty
yeah.
is not subjective; it's objective. There's been many studies. Like people tend to find the same things attractive. Like people might have like certain types where it differs a little bit, but in general, like it's not subjective. It's
Yeah, and every
Also,
man, woman,
do
and
you
in
think it differs
between
on
is
what's
someone's
popular
type.
at the time?
not
Oh,
really.
true.
It absolutely
Yeah, I
does.
think it
Look
depends
at
on the
Kardashian
country, too.
effect.
Because I didn't want to
Beauty
get lip
standards.
fillers until like 3 years ago when it became popular to have big lips, and as someone like
Yeah, and I was
But
bullied for my
I
big
feel
lips
like-
growing up until it became like people were getting lip injections.
But I
Yeah,
feel like that's why I call
Yo,
myself
fix
a 10,
that,
'cause
man.
I'm not going to
Hold on.
base what I think of myself on what anybody else thinks of me. I look in the mirror every day and I like what I see.
Yeah, but that's
So-
delusional.
100%.
though.
But it
like we have
but
to,
it's
we have
true.
to.
I like
to
what
have
I see in the
reality.
mirror. So
Like,
in
we
my
have to-
mind,
Okay, then
I see
okay,
myself
in
as
my
a 10.
mind, in
I'm
my
not
mind,
saying that you have to see
in
me
my
as a 10.
mind,
You
in
might
my
see me as a
mind,
3.
in
It
my
doesn't
mind,
change
I'm a
how
millionaire.
I see myself,
In my
though.
mind, I'm a millionaire and a PhD in my mind, and I feel like that, so therefore I am.
That's a
But just
little
because
bit
you
depends
like
on the
what-
country,
just because
too.
you
There
like what you
are-
see in the mirror, also that
Yeah,
doesn't
but
mean that
that's-
you're a 10. A 10 is saying you are absolutely perfect. So you're saying you don't have any acne, your hair is perfect every single day, like you're in the best shape of your life. You're saying you have absolutely nothing that you think you can improve on yourself.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that I would consider myself a 10. I don't know what other people would call me.
I think maybe you're thinking
You
of different
know?
categories because objectively, the golden ratio is a measure of facial symmetry, and it is objective. You can look at someone's face and see how closely they match. And so I think when a lot of people say it, what they're talking about is this is how I measure up to this ideal standard of beauty. Though I do think you're right. Over time, or whoever said that, over time, society does value different aspects of women's beauty as time changes.
Yeah,
And things
it's
are
just
very
I know for a
But
fact
all
that
of
not
the-
everybody's going to
remember,
find
all
me
of the
beautiful.
media-
Some people will.
women-
some people
women
won't. So
make
at the end of the day,
70
I'm going to go with what I like. And
But
I
women
like
make,
how I look.
remember, women make 70 to 80% of consumer buying decisions. So all the media is marketed towards women. It's not for men. What men likes really has not changed.
More
I
natural
don't
usually.
see, but I said earlier, like it really does depend on the country and it does depend on where you're living because it's a lot different in America than it is in Israel. I lived in
Right.
Israel for over 4 years. And the beauty
Culture,
standards
totally.
there are
Wildly different.
completely different
Right.
than
Yeah,
here.
100%.
Asian countries as well.
When
I
I
mean,
got
back
Yeah,
here,
I've seen,
when I got back here, I went and I wanted a nose job right away as soon as I got back. I went and got Botox. I went and got lip filler. I didn't feel beautiful here by beauty standards at all. But when I lived in Israel, I was very confident and I felt great because there they don't care about those beauty standards.
Right.
They
Right.
don't
I need
care
to go
about
there.
them.
No, but,
I'd have been married by now.
they've done studies on this, like with men all over the world.
I mean,
And-
I
and-
lived there firsthand.
I mean, I've
so
lived.
I
Okay,
saw
I've
it.
lived in Germany. I've lived all over the world too. So we could go back and forth in the I lived game. But in general, men tend to find the same things attractive.
I don't believe that's true at all. But
Okay, well,
But
What do you think men find attractive?
and, I mean, fit, feminine, friendly in general. Symmetrical face. I mean, I think you kind of know it when you see it. If we're being honest.
Supposedly, like, biologically, like, where the
Big
men are
boobs, big
attracted
butt,
to,
small
like,
waist,
a
like,
woman
come
that
on.
looks like she's capable of bearing a child. So, like,
Yeah.
some meat on the
To me, that's the
body.
only way that we can say what we know men
lush
like, because
hair.
it's all different between what men like.
Yeah.
It's not.
Some
It's not,
men
it's
like-
not that one
and-
thing like, oh, if you
and-
have a small nose, every man
I
is
mean,
gonna
men,
like
in,
you.
men in
No.
general aren't that picky.
and also
some men like supermodels. Some men like the BBL, big booty Latinas. Like everyone has a different type, so you
Right.
can't just
Yeah.
put men into
Right.
like a certain category.
I mean, men really aren't that picky. They swipe right on dating apps like 50% of the time. Like, again, men just really
They're
aren't
not
that
picky on who they fuck, but they're picky on who they
they
want to call their
marry.
girlfriend.
Yeah, and
Or
who they want to
married.
show
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
another thing is you can be the complete and total package and get delivered to the wrong house. I'm just
Right.
saying you can be
Say it
you can
again.
be what somebody
I
is
mean,
dying and praying
women, but
for and
women
not
are the
get delivered to
choosers,
them.
so then you pick the wrong house.
No, I'm saying no.
That
I'm
means you-
saying I'm saying you can walk into a room and be a 10 to somebody in that room, but go up to the wrong guy.
I mean,
You know
not
what I
really,
mean?
not
We're
really.
talking
Okay, I'll
about the
give. Oh, let's
broader
let's
group
do
of
it. Let's do a
people,
different
though, not
example.
necessarily
Is
one
Lizzo
person.
going to be a 10 anywhere?
No.
Lizzo, if she goes to Japan,
That's
is she gonna
exactly
be a
what
10?
I'm. That's exactly
Is
what
she-
I'm saying.
No, but she's not going to be a 10 anywhere. I mean, we could argue that maybe like
I mean,
you
there are
know.
I'm confused
plenty
on
of
what the
guys
hell we're
that like
arguing,
big
actually.
Well,
girls.
yeah, she would be a 10 somewhere. Like
There
I
are
said,
plenty
in the
of-
hood,
Yeah,
she would
exactly.
be a
She's
20.
girl.
She's
Like,
just like every woman. They could be the exact perfect package for the perfect person.
Right.
But that's exactly what I'm trying to
There's
say.
nobody that
Lizzo,
Lizzo is.
if you want to
Come
use
on.
her as
Have
an
you
example,
spoken to
she's a
every
beautiful
single person
woman.
on earth, Pearl?
right.
She,
I
what?
think what
Have you
she's getting
spoken
at
to
is
every
that
single person on earth?
I mean,
Pearl?
I have
'Cause
common
I
sense.
think that
You
that's
could-
where you get in. I think that's where you get it wrong sometimes. is you
I don't understand why
generalize
everyone's
too
coming
much,
to defense.
we have to generalize in order to have conversations.
Sometimes.
We
but
we
not
have to.
always.
Otherwise, if we're gonna have a conversation about every single exception,
But
we're
why-
gonna be here all day.
But why
Lizzo-
would you
at the
think
end
that
of the
about
day, there
Lizzo?
are
It's
guys
because
who
she's
like
fat?
girls.
Okay, I have a
Conversation.
question. I have a question. If I said you guys look like Lizzo, would you take it as a compliment?
I think
Lizzo
it
has
depends
a
on the
beautiful
person.
face.
I think she's confident
Lizzo
as hell.
has a beautiful
Yeah.
face.
She's
Her
confident as hell.
face is
Her
beautiful.
body and her face and her confidence and the way that she carries herself. Hell yeah,
Okay,
I think
so
she's
you have,
beautiful.
you have, you have
I
a
wouldn't-
body
I
like
find I
Lizzo.
can
You're
find
cool.
beauty in every single woman though. Like that's just
I think
me.
I don't
what
think that's.
holy crap. I think what Pearl was trying to get at is that it's okay to be normal. It's okay not to be a 10 out of 10 in society's standards. Everybody is told
100%.
nowadays that
And
they're
we would
special
be-
and that you're a 10, you're a 10. No, let's be for real. We have to be honest with ourselves. We go out into the world. I'm going to go out somewhere. Somebody doesn't like black girls. Guess what I'm going to have to do? Accept that people don't like black girls. I'm going to go out there and change the world's opinion. No.
But that doesn't change how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
that's not
but
the
I feel about
objective
myself because I'm going off of
rating,
society's
But the
standards and what I
question-
look
the
like.
question
I
was
feel
to
that
rate
way. But
yourself.
she's saying
The
she feels
question was to
average.
rate our looks, not
Yeah.
ourselves.
Right.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
no,
you're not
rate
rating
your own
yourself
looks.
But
a
even
six and a
okay, but
half
come on.
person.
Even if we're gonna go off personality, what we all have
That's
perfect 10.
subjective,
No,
too.
no, I'm saying like there's no areas for improvement in your personality.
always
That's not what we're
Like,
saying at all.
No, I mean it is when you're saying you're a 10. If you're including because
We were
you
talking
said it.
about
have to be
Yeah,
honest with
I-
yourself, honest
I'm
with
a
yourself,
nine.
where you stand in
No,
society.
but I
We're
said,
talking
I
about
said,
looks,
I
though.
said if we were
Yeah.
going, even if we were going personality, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but it's,
absolutely not.
I think that we're having a little bit of confusion about objectively. There is an objective beauty standard. You can look at a woman, and there are different across races, across ethnicities, across all different types of things. There are women who are objectively beautiful. When they walk in a room, you know that's a 10. You know it. You know it when you see it. But there is relative beauty, and like you were saying. It depends on where you are, and you may have somebody who, for that culture, for that area, that's a 10, and it looks different than the objective 10 that most people. If you have a room full of 1,000 people from all over the world, they know when somebody walks in that's a 10, objectively, because you can see it's the facial symmetry. It's just the math, and our brains
100%.
comprehend it as beauty.
100%. And if you
Yeah.
bring somebody with blue eyes somewhere where there's predominantly not blue eyes, they're immediately going to get like a double look or be held to like, oh wow, that's beautiful because it's not seen as often, or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying blue eyes because that's what I have, so I'm not going to critique somebody else's look. But
Yeah.
What I don't understand is who is the shot caller that said, "Oh, this is the perfect structured face. This is what beauty is." Like
just
who
society.
Who has the
It's
right to
constantly
say
thrown in our
that?
face.
Your
Like,
brain-
They're not
brain-
wrong
who
when they
are
were bringing
you?
up the golden ratio.
Yeah,
That
similarity.
is a
It's just
study.
math.
It is
yeah.
And you know, another thing is ridiculous to me is that, okay, this is what a 30-year-old should look like. This is what you should look like when you're 20. This is what who
Do you,
put
I
like
have a
an
question.
ABC
I have a
chart
question.
that said
how
like
tall are you? How tall are you?
5'7".
Okay, would you date a guy that's 5 foot?
I have.
Really?
Oh, plenty of times.
5 foot.
Oh, plenty.
7 inches.
Plenty. I fucked a little 4 or 7 once before, honey. Let me tell you. I look.
and he was probably putting in double time.
Yeah, he was. Double pump. Yeah, no, look, where I come from, look, you just blessed, and at my age, you just blessed to get somebody that, you feel me, wants to show you some love, honey, and show you a good time, honey, so you got to go along with it, baby. If it's your, you feel me, your type, then it's your type. Height shouldn't matter, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think that's shallow, to be honest, to put somebody down just based off their height.
Women
That's
do though if you look
definitely
at the
shallow.
filters on dating apps though.
I
Like
mean-
most
I
like
mean,
the
I
most
can-
common filter is 6 foot and up, and most women have that filter on if they can.
I have
But
a
I also
question.
feel like most men like shorter women as well.
they do.
Yeah,
That's my problem.
5'2" is like this.
They want the little tiny itty bitty, yeah.
I attract mad short guys, and
I know, I
used to give them a
was
chance.
thinking-
I used to date only
I
the
feel like
five
short
days.
kings are
Trend
the
right
tallest
now.
women. There's no
The
problem.
most
Definitely
confident.
is.
Yeah.